In Texas news, the county of Tarrant has brought a lawsuit against a cabaret after another shootout because the place is a den of thieves. So, yeah, sometimes lawful businesses sometimes are attracting all the wrong people, and sometimes this leads to all kinds of problems. And so occasionally this leads to such levels of problems that the city or county or state brings a nuisance lawsuit, public nuisance, right? You have a right to do what you want on your land, but you can't do what you want on your land to the degree it interferes with your neighbor's rights on their land, right? Everyone's entitled to their own land. So you're interfering with peace of enjoyment. So a private person could bring this kind of a lawsuit if their neighbor were doing things that causes disruption to their home, right? If they're blaring music at all hours and loud music and all the rest of it, even putting aside any issues with noise ordinances, right? So maybe the city has noise ordinances, maybe it doesn't, or maybe it doesn't enforce them. Either way, right? If your neighbor's playing all kinds of loud music at all kinds of hours in a way that's completely disruptive, private nuisance, right? You have created a nuisance to your neighbor. Well, you can also do this on the public level. Public nuisance. You are such a hazard that you're creating harm to everyone everywhere, and you need to stop. So we're trying that. Let's learn a little bit more about Temptations Cabaret. The state of Texas has filed a public nuisance lawsuit against a adult entertainment establishment in Tarrant County on Tuesday as part of a permanent effort to shut it down. Yeah, maybe your business is lawful, maybe not, but we can't help noticing that there is a lot of problems that is associated with this address, and we're kind of tired of it. So you don't get to be a business anymore because you're bringing harm to the public at large. Lol. The move comes after a shootout on Sunday in the parking lot of Temptations Cabaret that left one person dead and 3 other injured. The club apparently has a well-documented history of criminal activity, including multiple murderers. Yeah, that would be the thing that would get the government's attention, among other things. Yeah, if the police have to keep coming to your place of business over and over again, and we can't help noticing that your business seems to lead to a string of bodies in the parking lot. Your business is the problem. We didn't do the thing. We are a lawful business. Well, you might be a lawful business, but you seem to be attracting a dangerous element, and you don't seem to have the ability to control it. And we can't help noticing the multiple murderers. So you don't get to be a business anymore. Yeah. It was all kind of scary to me. You wake up at 3:00 in the morning to gunshots, said Molly Day, whose home is less than a mile away. I find it absolutely ridiculous we can't find a way to shut a door. How many deaths is enough? Good question. I think the state might have reached its limit. The case, brought on by Tarrant County's criminal district attorney, is seeking both a permanent and temporary injunction to prevent businesses from operating. So yes, this is the criminal side, but it's also a civil complaint. So that is not uncommon, by the way. Prosecutors do bring civil complaints as well. Of course, they're less known for it than the criminal. The prosecutors are known for the criminal. And of course, there are also agencies within the city and state and counties that do civil complaints, right? The city's attorney, for example, often brings these kinds of complaints, but sometimes it's the prosecutor's office. And the prosecutor's office is like, hey, we can't help noticing we've done a lot of criminal prosecutions in relation to this business. We don't want to do them anymore. Go away. In the lawsuit, the district attorney has called Temptations a hotbed of crime that wreaks havoc on the community near the club and strains the resources of law enforcement and first responders. According to court filings, the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office made 57 arrests for criminal offenses between January 1st, 2020 and December 31st, 2022. 60 arrests in 2 years at the same business, including 3 instances of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 5 instances of discharge of a firearm, 2 murders, and 6 instances of unlawful carrying of a weapon. Yeah, when you're doing 30 of these things every year, when they're basically showing up every other week, because of some calamity that's occurring at your business, I think the state might have reached its threshold of you don't get to play anymore. You're a bad business. Yeah. The crimes, of course, have persisted into 2023. After a double stabbing at Temptations almost 3 weeks ago, the Tarrant County Commissioner started looking into what being done. So, yes, other elements of the government, in addition to the prosecutor's office, also have questions. He reviewed data from the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office to determine how frequently crime happened. What I found was shocking, said the commissioner. The establishment has 10 times the call volume of any other establishment of this nature in Tarrant County. So, yes, there are other adult entertainment clubs in Tarrant County. Do the violent crimes occur at the other clubs? Not really, not so much. Other clubs, maybe 6 in 2 years. You, 60 in 2 years. You are a unique problem. I'm not sure why, but you are. So you are, there are 134 calls for service at this location just last year. So, basically every 3 days, the police get called. Might be a problem. In addition to the district attorney pursuing action, the commissioner's court has also been asked to review the business permits of the place because, they plan to discuss it during the June 6th meeting. I'm very confident Wheels Are in Motion will have a solution very soon. Our citizens have dealt with this for far too long, and they deserve for us to provide relief. It's not only our job, but our moral obligation. Yeah. This kind of thing does occasionally happen. And it occasionally happens at like a convenience store or a corner store, or sometimes I've even seen it at a particular fast food establishment, like a Burger King. Once I think I saw this kind of thing happen, or Popeye's Chicken, I think I saw this once happen in various jurisdictions over the years. So yeah, every once in a while, there's a special business, which we're not 100% sure why it's special, but it's special. And we can't help taking notice. So we can't necessarily prove that you did any illegal, but we notice that there's lots of illegal. So go away. The increase of crime related to the club has caused many neighbors to put their home on the market because we don't like living here anymore. But this person's hopeful there is help. I love it here. I'm very confident something's going to happen. CBS has reached out to the company that owns Temptations for comment, but not so much with the comment. Yeah, it's not going well over here. So yeah. Thus, that brings our attention to the end of the case dealing with Temptations Cabaret, an adult club for the adults in the great Tarrant County of the great state of Texas. Tarrant County has many adult clubs. This is not the only adult club. However, we can't help noticing that you have 10 times the rate of the crimes occurring at your club as other crimes, including the assaults with a deadly weapon, including the murders, including the calls for service every 3 days. We can't help noticing that your club seems to be associated with the problems, and we are tired of the problems. Public nuisance. Go away. Stop. You're not allowed to do it anymore. And also, we're seizing your business license. And also, none of you guys ever get to own a business ever again because you're really, really bad at it. So yeah, this is the kind of thing that does happen from time to time. Sometimes at these kinds of establishments, sometimes not. Sometimes it's at more low-key establishments. But every once in a while, there's a special business. And yeah, we're like, no. We can't help noticing, no. So this is what's happening in Tarrant County, and that, for the moment, brings us to the end of discussion of this story.